We should ultimately be trying to convince him that the Democratic Party has more of the values that he agrees with, Khanna said. A commitment to science funding, a commitment to clean technology, a commitment to seeing international students like him. Khanna, just no. We can't save everyone, and if ever there was a case for someone to not save, it would be Elon Musk.
Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup.
This is Ashley with Status Coup.
On the ground.
In Philadelphia.
Flint, Michigan. East Palestine, Ohio. Please support the leading independent news outlet on the ground.
Covering what the corporate media covers up.
Hey, it's Ashley Bishop with Status Coup. You might have heard that Trump and his BFF Elon have had a bit of a fight. It would seem that this relationship has crashed and burned in a way that nobody could ever have predicted. And the way that Democrats handle this is going to be a real test of the one rule that Democrats seem to live by, which is to never learn a thing. And in this case, I'm going to guess that they have taken no lesson away from the most popular movement in our country since Trump was elected, which is Bernie's Fight the Oligarchy tour. Jordan and Zaina covered their feud last night on the live stream. So if you haven't watched that, please do go check it out. They were very thorough. So Politico wrote about some of what I want to talk about. So this is from yesterday. So again, this is a piece from Politico. Democrats eye a villain to ally arc for Elon Musk. The messy public breakup between two MAGA heavyweights makes some Dems wonder if there's a role for them to play. So Elon Musk has been the Democratic Party's boogeyman since shortly after President Donald Trump deputized him as a top advisor. Their bitter breakup could complicate that. After Musk called the GOP's Big Beautiful Bill a disgusting abomination and threatened to fire all politicians who backed it, the president mused on Thursday that he didn't know if the two would still have a great relationship. Musk responded on his powerful platform X, or Twitter, "Without me, Trump would have lost," adding such ingratitude. That extra tweet at the end really makes it such ingratitude, but I want to skip to the end of this piece before coming back to some other parts of the piece. So I want to skip to this piece at the end. Still, Musk recently threatened to cut off the money spigot for Republicans, and Democrats would have a lot to gain by merely keeping the world's richest man on the sidelines in the midterm elections and beyond. If Musk makes a mess of GOP primaries, that would work in their favor too. But Musk's recent heel turn also risks reopening a divide between progressives and moderates over how to approach him and other billionaires. And this is what I want to turn to first. This is going to be the most important test for Democrats, how they approach billionaires. Because again, the most popular movement since Trump 2.0 began in this country has been Bernie's Fight the Oligarchy tour, which we covered in person and has brought out record numbers of people across the country. And for what? In opposition to the oligarchy, the billionaires that run our country, which Musk is the poster child of. And it's not just Democrats. I mean, we've had Republican town halls with constituents shouting, "Tax the rich." Working people do not want to be aligned with the party of billionaires on either side, full stop. So let's go back to the Politico piece while keeping this very important detail in mind. The split is giving some Democrats pause in their portrayal of Musk as a chainsaw-wielding, bureaucracy-breaking villain, with some saying that they should give him another chance. After all, the billionaire tech mogul said he voted for former President Joe Biden in 2020 and gave a tour of SpaceX to then-President Barack Obama. Representative Khanna of California, who represents Silicon Valley and has known Musk for over a decade, said the Democrats should be in dialogue with Musk, given their shared opposition to the GOP's mega bill. We should ultimately be trying to convince him that the Democratic Party has more of the values that he agrees with, Khanna said. A commitment to science funding, a commitment to clean technology, a commitment to seeing international students like him. Khanna, just no. We can't save everyone, and if ever there was a case for someone to not save, it would be Elon Musk. The same man who led Doge's mass layoffs of federal workers has led the cuts to social services working people rely on, who is also a union buster, and who gave a Nazi salute earlier this year. I don't need to go on. You all get the idea. Musk has done real damage to working people's lives. Khanna himself documented on his Twitter account the private sector layoffs due to Trump's tariffs earlier this year. And whatever Musk's opinion on those tariffs actually is, he is still marked by this due to his proximity to that administration. But it's not just Khanna. So back to the Politico piece. Other Democrats are warming back up to Musk as he leaves the White House and starts to break with his former boss in ways that could benefit the opposition. I'm a believer in redemption, and he is telling the truth about the legislation, said Representative Richie Torres of New York. But he added Musk has done an enormous amount of damage, and there are Democrats who see his decimation of the federal workforce and the federal government as an unforgivable sin. I don't believe in the sincerity of what Torres is saying, and I don't believe in redemption in this case. It sounds more like he's throwing this clause in here for when he eventually forgets about the federal workers and joins the Democrats in their more than likely upcoming attempt to court Musk. And the article goes on. Liam Kerr, co-founder of the group behind the centrist Democrats Welcome Fest meeting this week in Washington, said, of course, Democrats should open the door if Musk wants back into the party. You don't want anyone wildly distorting your politics, which he has a unique capability to do, but it's a zero-sum game, Kerr said. Anything that he does that moves more toward Democrats hurts Republicans. Again, just know, they have been calling him King Musk and a fascist, because he is. But now they're already toying around with the idea that maybe actually he's just an okay guy. He has money that he could potentially give Democrats, so all sins are apparently forgiven now. I mean, Musk would be the ultimate iteration of the Never Trumper, and we all know just how much Democrats love that. Liz Cheney would be unseated so quickly for that role. But to underscore Richie Torres' point, which is an uncomfortable thing to say, what about the federal workers who have lost their jobs? What about everyone who is having social services cut because of Musk and his pet project? What does a realignment with Musk say to them and how much they matter to the Democrats, the party that is apparently desperately trying to figure out how to win them back? So much so that they spent $20 million trying to figure out how to talk to men to persuade them back into the party. If I was on the fence about the Democrats after this, I don't think that I'm coming back. And then you have people like Matt Iglesias, the poster child for why centrists are dangerous, saying this. So Matt Iglesias posted, I feel like Jeffries and Schumer should give Elon Musk a call and tell him about the Democratic Party's long-standing interest in electric cars, solar panels, space exploration, and balanced deficit reduction. We should never be taking Matt Iglesias seriously, but again, no. Because you know what else Musk brings? He brings responsibility for all of the cuts, all of the layoffs that the Republicans currently have ownership of. If the Democrats bring Musk back into the party, they own that. And it shows the people who don't already know that the Democrats have no morals, they have no backbone, and their only real constituents are the billionaire class and their donors. They will follow the money no matter who it comes from. That's what this says to them. Musk also potentially brings in things like unregulated tech like AI and its water-guzzling data centers into the party in a way that is more out in the open for the people who weren't looking all that hard to now see it. We know the Democrats are more than happy to embrace AI and all the devastation that it brings by way of layoffs and replacing what should be human workers in things like medical fields and everywhere else with AI. The Democrats would own that too. And for what? We know how working people feel about the billionaires. They don't much like them. Welcoming Musk would be a pure display of just how bankrupt and cynical the Democrats truly are. And again, for a party already spending obscene amounts of money to find a way to message to working people out of expecting anything material from them, the thing that working people actually want from them, just saying no to Musk because they seem to be doing fine without his money right now would be a pretty easy win. And it would show that they have been listening to working people when they have been talking to them and yelling at them and protesting. But my prediction is that this is not how things are going to go down. And I will be honest, I'm not necessarily thrilled to be covering this. Don't get me wrong. I have been enjoying the memes as much as anybody else has. It was a great night of Twitter. Ken Klippenstein is always my favorite terminally online person to follow when something happens. And here is a tweet from him. Enjoy this moment, everyone. Sooner or later, Hillary is going to post about it and it will stop being funny. And the next post is, the first comment on that is Chuck Schumer beat her to it. And here is the tweet that Chuck Schumer beat her with, which says, Siri, play Bad Blood. This was obviously written by a staffer, but that's sort of where we're at right now. So thank you, Chuck Schumer. It is still funny, and I've been enjoying the temporary reprieve that this has brought me, as much as I'm sure everybody else who is watching this has. But I do think that Musk's defection or expulsion from the Republican Party is going to prove a test for the Democrats that they're going to lose, which will have disastrous consequences for the rest of us. So thank you all for watching. Please like, follow, and subscribe to Status Coup, and please join us at statuscoup.com/join. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.